and we're going to turn to the NBA. We're going to turn to a guy who's had a lot of success in the NBA, a guy who knows a lot about the NBA. Let's bring him in now, former NBA great, the one, the only, Antoine Walker. Antoine, how are you, man?
Man, how you doing, brother?
Doing well. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
And Antoine, I want to get down to it right now. You talked a lot of trash throughout the course of your career. You talked trash with the best of them. We saw a couple weeks ago Kevin Garnett, Carmelo Anthony going back and forth. Reports were Garnett said a little something about his wife. Doc Rivers denied that. Are there rules in trash talking overall? Are there any rules in trash talking?
I think it's rules of trash talking. I think it's a good way to do it if it's in a competitive manner. Honestly, it was something said beyond basketball. I don't think Melo would have went to the bus if it was just strictly about basketball. So, obviously I think they did a good job of diffusing it real quickly, but it was definitely something serious. I think, he never would go to the bus if it wasn't. I can't see that happening. So I think KG probably took it a little bit too far, took it personal, and made him react that way. But I definitely think it was something else involved.
And what's the craziest thing that ever been said to you on the court?
That's hard to think of off the top of my head. I mean, long as it's long as it's in the essence of basketball, you're gonna get everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think trash talking is the way you do it. If it's done in a competitive manner, if you and the guy going at it, y'all going back and forth, mano a mano, that's good trash talk. I think when you start getting personal, talking about family, family and family members and girlfriends and mothers and some personal stuff that may have got out in the newspaper or something, and everybody knew about it. I think that's taking it too far.
Okay, so the moment they start talking about mama or girlfriend or baby mama, it's a wrap. It's done.
Yeah, and then you really got to be really doing too much. It's going too far.
Okay. And Antoine, let's move to the Lakers now. Everybody's talking about the Lakers. This team, 17-22 after falling to Miami the other night. They're 11th in the Western Conference, 3 games out of the 8th spot. From what you saw with the Lakers, what is wrong with this team?
Well, I think the problem is for Steve Nash to be effective, he's got to be able to dominate the basketball. And I think with Kobe, he's not being able to do that. And also, I think D'Antoni's style and system is not conducive to that personnel that they got on the floor. Kobe's, he's towards the end of his career. He's not going to be a running gun. Steve Nash is not going to run a gun. So I think the Lakers did a bad job of one, basically, hiring a coach, and then also on the flip side of that, I think, Dwight Howard has to be more dominant. He's coming off an injury. They got to go through Paul Gasol a little bit more. They are the type of team that's got to be a little bit more balanced. Kobe can't be leading the league in scoring with that type of team. You got to have balanced scoring if you want to win it. I think, Kobe averaging 30 is a little bit too much if they want to win and be successful. And I think they did a great job of putting their bench together in the summertime. When they made the big trades, they didn't put their bench together properly, So I think they have to make a move here at the trade deadline, but they still would be a team that I didn't want to play at the 7th or 8th seed. I mean, they could turn it on at any moment. I wouldn't be a team up at the top that wants to see them in the first round.
And one of the issues with the Lakers, you talked about their bench, but another issue with this team is their defense. They're 26th in the league in points allowed, and that's typical with Mike D'Antoni coach teams. Can they turn things around defensively?
Well, I don't think they can turn things around defensively because they don't have the personnel to. I mean, Steve Nash is, a Hall of Famer, a guy like that, but he's never been a lockdown defender, and that's your starting point guard. So I think Ron Artest and Kobe and Dwight gives you a good nucleus defensively. I think they got to mix it up a little bit, maybe play a little bit more zone, maybe have Steve Nash a little bit. You got to be creative when you got that type of roster and just try to put them in the best situation to win it. I think it's just a matter of time before. I think they are going to make the playoffs. Whether it's the 7th or 8th seed, I think they're going to be a tough out just because of Kobe and Steve Nash. But this season's a watch. They're going to have to get the personnel to kind of match with D'Antoni if they lock into him.
And you look at this team, there's always a possibility that this whole thing could just blow up. I mean, Steve Nash is old. Kobe is getting older. Dwight Howard, there's no guarantee that he'll be there beyond this season. There's a possibility that this whole thing could just really just blow up. Do you see that happening?
Honestly, I think I see, I think I see Kobe, Steve, and Dwight. I think Dwight signs there. Obviously, that's a team he can make the most money from. I think Kobe's on his way out. I think Dwight likes the limelight. I think the Lakers will do everything they can to keep a superstar, a franchise player, on their roster. So I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think he's definitely going to be the first, guy to stay. But I definitely see some absence with Paul Gasol. Maybe Ron Artest coming into his last year of his deal. But it's definitely going to be a total makeover. I can see 7 new guys on the roster next year.
Wow. And that wouldn't be surprising. Antoine, the Lakers, they could use a stretch 4. Any chance that you can come out and help them out?
Yeah. Man, I seeing Sheed and Jason Kidd and, Curry Thomas, some of the veterans. If I ever can dedicate myself to the gym for 3-4 months, definitely. Still got a love and passion for the game. But, yeah, after seeing those guys, I got a newfound confidence that, I still can play in this league, yeah. It's all about situations and times. I think if you look at the teams that those guys are on, they're veteran teams trying to win championships. If I could fall into one of those situations, get myself in tip-top shape, and sky's the limit where it can happen.
Definitely. We're talking to former NBA star Antoine Walker. And, Antoine, maybe you should maybe you should put 3 to 4 months in the gym, and who knows what could happen.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm not doing it. I mean, I'm not publicizing that I'm doing it. I'm not saying that. I'm back playing. We still got a few guys waiting on call-ups and stuff like that and waiting to get a phone call. So we got a good run going on here in Chicago. So I'm definitely back in the gym. I just said, when you got to get back in the NBA shape, it's a different type of shape. So, I know I have to dedicate myself and really put that effort into it, trying to do it. But, come July, if I feel like I'm in good enough shape, now it's kind of starting to work out for some teams. But it's got to be the right situation, a veteran type of situation. Looks like you said, maybe the Lakers that needs a stretch for to do some things, especially playing with a guy like Dwight Howard, who demands double teams and needs some guys to space the floor. So it's definitely a possibility. I'm not ruling it out. Like I said, I'm been going to a lot of games lately, getting the bug. Like I said, back in the gym playing 5-on-5, so getting that bug again.
We're talking to former NBA star Antoine Walker. And, Antoine, let's get to you now. We all know about some of your money problems over the years. You earned $110 million throughout your career. On the surface, it seems impossible that you could lose all your money. But how does one go through $110 million?
I think it's just a combination of things. With me, it was a little different. I was a huge investor in the real estate market, where I was a personal guarantor of 7 different companies, and we had a lot of properties, over 146, 150 properties. So that was what a bulk of my income loss. But it's a lot of different ways you can lose it. I mean, I think one, you create a lifestyle for yourself. You can buy lavish things, you can buy houses, cars, jewelry. The way you carry yourself on a daily basis. Women, having a woman, and you can lose a lot of money through a divorce or through a relationship. It's multiple things, child support. It's a combination of a lot of things that goes on throughout the life when you have a lot of money and you're taking care of a lot of people. So it's like all those things in one that kind of contributes to the loss.
And one speculation was gambling may have caused you to go broke. But clear this up. You said that was not the case. Clear it up.
Well, I think people looked at the story because of the thing that happened in Vegas. There was a situation that obviously we didn't want to happen. It was a legal situation that they could do, that they could force a warrant on me, and they did it for whatever reason possible. So it got kind of blown out of proportion. The situation has been taken care of over a year now. So it was one of those situations that I got blown out of proportion. Was on their part. I felt was wrongly did by them, but they got the cards, they got the gun at that point, and they chose to do that. There's a situation, obviously, when it gets to national press that you got to defend yourself, but it's unfortunate. A lot of people, a lot of companies go through the media to get their point across, and we were in a natural discussion on a daily basis about taking care of the restitution payment, but it didn't happen the way I wanted to happen. They took the legal. They took another route, and it's unfortunate. It's actually really detrimental to me because I have to explain myself, and people, put that in the scheme of things. Did I gamble? Yes. Did I lose all my money gambling? No. So it was just one of those situations where they had the ball in their court, and they took advantage of it, and it just got out naturally and got to something that really was something that really shouldn't have did. Didn't spend a day in jail, never got arrested. This is a situation that we just took care of after the fact. Well, we could have did it behind closed doors anyway.
And Antoine, you talked about some of the money that you gave to friends, some of the money you gave to family, and you're a loyal guy. Tell us, man, how difficult is it for you to say no, or how difficult was it for you to say no?
Well, it's not about being difficult. I think when you grew up in the inner city like I did, the kids that grew up, I'm the oldest of six, and you come from nothing. We all kind of pretty much got the same type of background. Most African American athletes. So with me, I was more or less. I want my family to live a good life like I did. My friends I grew up with, we grew up together. Playing ball together. I was the one to make it out. So you want to bring them along and want them to be a part of that. So it was more of that situation. It was very difficult for me to say no because I wanted to make sure that they got to see the same life I did. It's probably not the best way to do things. It's probably a lot of other creative ways to handle the situation. But at that time, that's the way I'm thinking. I came to the league at 19 years old. So that's the way I was thinking when I came in.
And I think, a lot of people, we say, okay, how can a guy go through $110 million? But when you're 19 years old, you come into the league, and like you said, you came from the background that you came from, it's kind of difficult to keep a focus. It's kind of difficult to keep your money. Was it almost like you got caught up in the Matrix?
I would say yes and no. I think it's just a matter of we create a lifestyle for ourselves. So when you come from poverty, you come from a situation of not having a lot, and then you got to start making money. You're going to make sure you're going to have a lot. Like I said, you give me a lot of money now. Again, I could probably still do the same thing. I'm going to help my family and friends out. Right. That's just something I'm going to do. I don't think God gives us money to keep to ourselves. I think He gives spread the wealth to family and friends to make sure you put them in better positions. I probably wouldn't be so much free-willing and free-hearted about certain situations. There would have to be a specific need of some sort. It just wouldn't be given out. It'd be given out in a different manner. So you can get caught in that. I think a lot of us do when we come in at such a young age. I think the biggest thing for any young guy that comes in, we have to learn the value of a dollar. Right. And understanding $1 million is only $600,000. Little small things like that, and if we can learn how to keep those things in perspective, we all would be in a better position.
How are you doing emotionally? It's got to be tough for you, you going through that type of money, being at the top, now kind of going down a little bit. How are you doing emotionally?
I'm doing good, man. Life is good. I'm here. I have 2 kids, beautiful kids. Family's good. Money don't make me. I make the money. So that bothers me. And I got a good balance in my life. I come from not having a lot, having a lot. So I got a good balance in my life where it doesn't, deter me from being the person that I am. So I'm the same. Obviously I dealt with that when it happened. A couple of years ago. Now just, starting the second phase of my life, moving forward and believing that, it's good days to come. But, I done done it all and been there, so I'm not necessarily worried about that. I just want to enjoy the quality of life and share my experiences with other people and also help them out as well. So it's a good thing. Everything happens for a reason. You got to be, positive about it. The good thing about it is I have a strong network of good friends that I consider friends, and my family. My mom has been very supportive. And when you get your family behind you, you pretty much can pull through anything.